Oh, very good day everybody. Welcome to another video. I am your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. I will be your captain for today's flight. We're flying the Fenix A320 for Microsoft Flight Simulator again today. And this time we're using the Air Portugal, TAP Air Portugal livery. This comes with the installer of the aircraft. And we're currently standing parked here at the gate on the London Heathrow airport in the United Kingdom, and we will be getting ourselves ready for a flight to Portugal, obviously, and we'll be touching down in Lisbon. It should be in about I believe it's 1 hour 50 minutes or something, 2 hours. I forget, my apologies. Air time is 2 hours 13 minutes. So there you have it. The aircraft is completely cold, so let's just hop on in and get this thing going. We're using real world time and real world weather. This probably means that by the time we arrive, the sun well, it's probably just set in Portugal. And so we see some EasyJet here. There's actually another TAP Air Portugal here as well. Quite interesting to have 3 of them standing here at London Heathrow next to each other. There's aircraft coming in, British Airways, and there is an EasyJet, and we're using live traffic, but probably not sure if all these liveries are actually correct, but okay. Anyway, so let's hop onto the flight deck and get this thing started up. So start up with the battery power. This usually actually serves as a backup system. And for starting up the aircraft, obviously it's the first thing you do. You got some just some systems going, like you got some lighting and let's have a look. So the external power is available. You can see this here. It's this ground power unit. It's connected to the aircraft, to the nose cone of the aircraft, and it's supplying electrical power. So let's click that, and now the aircraft really becomes comes to life. So what we'll do is we start up. So the crew oxygen supply is very important, and the ground control light. I believe this is actually a voice recorder. Let's see, and then we align the aiders. 1, 2, and number 3 is in the middle. Put the strobe lights to auto, and the nav lights, they can go to 2. And we turn on the no smoking sign, and we arm the emergency seatbelt, the emergency what's it again? Emergency exit lights. Of course, totally forgot the word there. Emergency exit lights. So let's change the cabin temperature a little bit. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's obviously the fire testing system, but let's see. Yeah, I think we should be able to. Yeah, so this should be good. Engine number 1 fire, and the engine number 2. Put some better temperature in the cargo, and for now I think this should be fine. The aircraft is now trying to position itself where it is in the world. This process will take another 7 minutes. Okay. So we tap to import the flight plan that's on the sim brief. So you see, we're flying from London Heathrow to Lisbon in Portugal. If we look at the ground surfaces, we got the external power unit with the chocks in place. So let's open up the doors for some cargo, and let's toggle the jetway as well. If we go to mass imbalance, here we can have a look. Let's see. The planned fuel should be 1889 kilograms of fuel. Let me quickly check. Yeah, this doesn't seem to make sense. The block fuel is 8644, so maybe probably missing something. Resend the load sheet. There you go. So planned passengers 138, and let's have a look. So let's load the aircraft real time. I was looking at the cargo. My bad. Okay. So we're loading passengers. The first passenger is now boarded the aircraft. So that's all good. So for now I think we're good. Just stand by 1 second please. Let's switch to the external view for a second. Okay, so my apologies. I was getting a message from a beautiful French lady, and well, what do you do in such a case? You know what I mean. So I was answering. So let's turn back to the tasks at hand. We have 20 passengers on the board, and let us go here. Let's connect to the Itinerary again. So we got the flight plan in here as well, or the OPF rather, if you will. So you just click and it imports right into the ESD. Very handy little tool here. And departure performance, not sure if we will be needing this just now. We could sync the load sheet in any case and sync live weather, not yet for some reason. Okay. Let's turn the attention now to the MCDU. So we go to the ATSU menu and we click on the AOC button for the AOC menu. And we click the flight initialization, and then you click init data request, and it will now request the flight plan. So we got Air Portugal 812 from London Heathrow to Lisbon, Portugal. We got Faro in Portugal as the backup destination. En route time is about 2 hours and 13 minutes. So that is there. We go to the init page and we request the flight plan here as well. And the flight number TAP 812. Cost index for today's flight, we will find this right here in the pilot brief, in the OPF. Cost index CI, that's number 5, so cost index 5, and what will be our cruising altitude 370. You can see this right here, 370. And what was the cost index now? 5. Alright, seems rather low. Cost index 5, flight level 370. And we put that in right there. Okay. I believe you can also import the wind. Let's just do the wind request. See how that's going to turn out for us. Okay, so the winds are loaded in. That's always good. I go to the flight plan page. You can see there's a flight plan already in there. So we will need our departure and our arrival. We'll start with the departure, obviously, and in theory, you could do the arrival. Once you arrive, and control gives you gives you some clearance for some approach. So runway 27 right. GOGSI 2 Foxtrot. 27 right, GOGSI 2 Foxtrot. Departure 27 right. GOGSI 2 Foxtrot. That's all right there. Good stuff. And we insert. Do the same for the destination. Click the arrival. And here let's have a look. What is the destination? XAMAX 6 Bravo 420. That is interesting. Must be looking wrong. Otherwise it's 21. Here they call it 20. LPPT XAMAX 6 Bravo. We're going for ILS 21. If the ZAM is not really sure now. For some reason my RX cycle seems to be out of date in this aircraft. I haven't looked into it really. Okay, so we got the flight plan. Secondary, for now we just copy the actors. These VOR frequencies just populate themselves, very handy. Now we go to the init B page for the fuel. And always forget zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight center of gravity, which to use. So which goes to show a little bit of my understanding. Let's check departure performance. So sync load sheet. And we can also sync the live weather. Always going to be 27 right. It's going to be dry surface. Yeah, it's not really sure now which where to look. I think it's takeoff weight 66.5 and 29.6. 66.5, 29.6. 66.5 and 29 decimal 6. Let's just double check. 66.5, 29.6. 65, 29.6. Alright, so that's cool. We got that. Put it in there. And the block fuel, you could see this right here in the pilot brief. The fuel section block fuel is 8644. .6, and we'll put that in the block. The trip wind, we will also see this back to the OFP. The average wind component is minus 026. Minus 026 for the trip wind. Invalid entry. I've seen this happen before. Sometimes it seems to take, sometimes it seems to not want to take. Minus 026. So why does it not take this? Invalid entry. I could try the M for a minus 026, but I've tried this before and it never really seemed to work. Lately, just apparently, actually, lately it worked using the plus and the minus button. So yeah, that's not really sure why. So I'm just going to leave it for now. And then you go to the performance page, and here as well, and we let the aircraft calculate, or actually the tablet will calculate for us. So we got V1 152, 152, 155, flap 2 takeoff 67, flex takeoff temperature, and 1080. So 152, 152, 155. This was 1080. And 1080 for the engine out acceleration as well. I believe it was 68. And flex 2, flex takeoff temperature, 67, and then we got flap 2. We got the flap 2 takeoff. Okay, so that's that. So we got this all loaded in. The passengers are boarding. Let's have a look. The fuel is also on the board, so let's turn on the seatbelt sign. And maybe let's have a look at the boarding process. So we got 82 passengers on board, 138 in total. So we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. Let's have a look at the flight plan. see if we can get these two in one shot. This would probably be the best. Let's see, is there anything else? Maybe like this. So ever since some previous update, the mouse just disappears sometimes when you're clicking, like after, I don't know, 7 clicks or something, and you just have to click it again. It's really weird. And it's a tad annoying. Like this. Okay, so it looks like we got a flight plan. Not going to worry too much about it now. Constraints are on. And let's also have a look at the meter. QNH 1018, 1807 knots. We got a crosswind takeoff. So 1018. So we enter this right here, 1018 for the altimeter. And we do this on this side as well for the pallet monitoring, 1018. Constraints go on this side too. And let's have another look at the departure performance. There is still no transition altitude there, but that's no problem. Just go to the Navigraph. So we got the GOGSI 2 Foxtrot departure. First you import the flight plan again. What is this message? Oh, I got this earlier. Flight control, left side 6 fault, calibrating all zones. Alright. For now, the message I think will go later. Okay, so departure. GOGSI 2 Foxtrot. Would be this one. Transition altitude 6000. We'll take off runway 27. 27 right, this one. We'll take it to long. No. I think the 7.0 DME from the London VOR. Let's have a look. Woodley. There we go left. Well, it must be above 6,000, below 6,000 feet and above 5,000. So if you just go 6,000 feet, you'll be fine. So that's going to be our first altitude constraint. So that is there. So now let's have a look at the loading, and we can maybe start up the APU. (116 passengers). Cargo has been loaded. So we can close all the cargo doors. Aft, forward, bulk. They're all closed now. So we're still waiting for the passengers to board. So in the meantime, what we can do is prepare the aircraft for engine startup. We'll turn on the master button for the APU. We'll wait a couple of seconds and we click start. Let's listen in on the outside. It's always cool to hear. This effect right here, it's just marvelous. There's the APU starting up. What we can do is prepare the rest here for takeoff. We lock the flight deck. We reset the rudder trim. Arm the ground spoilers. Flaps can go to 2 for a flap 2 takeoff. The weather is displayed on 1, but I do not believe the weather is currently working. We're going to have a score code of 7221. Want to see all traffic, TARA. Maybe that's a little early, but I don't worry too much about that. So let's see APU is available. You can see here the green avail light. So let's have a look at the temperature, because I saw this yesterday, I believe. Temperature in the cockpit, so you go to the condition page, and it's really hot, and could be, yeah, you see, so hot air is blowing into the aircraft now. So I believe once we open the APU bleed, then power is cold air will be blown in to the aircraft, and that will cool down the temperature. You can see this temperature that's being blown in is actually dropping, and that will end up in will result in dropping the temperatures inside the aircraft. Okay, so looks like we got most of it, or rather maybe actually all of it. So let's have a look at what the boarding is doing. Look at boarding complete. Thank you. So we can toggle the jetway. There you go. There goes the jetway. So the aircraft is running on its internal power now. So we're ready for taxi. Turn on the 6 fuel pumps. Let's have a look. You can turn off the external power now. It's now been turned off. And we will also request that the external power, the ground power unit is removed. And let's check the wheel brakes. The parking brake is set. It's to the right. So the chocks can go as well. And we can call the tug. The tug is now connecting. There you go. Little car there. So what we do now, quickly check, that's the wrong button. Navigraph, and let's have a look at the charts. The ground charts for taxiing. If I'm correct, we are standing here somewhere. Do not believe I see ourselves. Anyway, runway 27 right, should be this one. It is this one. So I think we just taxi all the way this direction, and we just hop onto the runway right there. Let's see if there's any other airport diagram. These are all text-based things. Here, there you go. Here you have our location. So basically we'll go on to Alpha, I think. Let's just do Alpha. Well, it should be fairly easy, so we push back facing north. So let's start the pushback. Oh, stupid. Braking the aircraft here. The landing gear. Obviously first you release the landing gear, the parking brake, and then you request the pushback. A little mistake on my end, which is going to make my boss very upset. There's an incoming aircraft right there. Let's do the left turn now. Then let's go ahead and start up engine number 2. And this is close enough, so we can request a stop of the taxiing. Thank you very much. And the tug has been dismissed. So parking brake immediately. And I will wait for the engine number 2 to start up. It's going to stop at 18.4 or something, N1. So the ground spoilers are on, seatbelt sign is on, no smoking sign is on, parking brake, company message we're going to ignore, APU bleed is on. That's a good reminder. And what else? There's the clunking noise, so that means that engine number 2 has started up. It's sitting at 18.4. Let's start up engine number 1. And let's turn on the taxi lights as well. I should have put on the beacon lights actually. Ring lights, they all go on now. So here is our beautiful aircraft in the setting sun in London Heathrow. And I think we can have a look at the schedule, see if we're probably a little bit late. Departing, cool. Okay, so looks like we have what is this, about a 27 minute delay. My apologies for that. Aircraft engine number 1 is also started now, so we can start the taxi. So what we'll do is release the parking brake, And that message we saw earlier, the orange message about the throttle quadrant, might be related to this, because I seem to have a bit of a hard time with the throttle if I do it like this. If I use the controller, it's just going to go straight up. That's obviously not what we want. Okay, so here we are, taxiing to runway 27 right. Let's have a look outside. Yeah, so the standard view appears to be a little too much zoomed in, too far zoomed in. But here we made it onto Alpha, taxiway Alpha. And you want to watch your ground speed. You see this right here, GS ground speed 22, 23. And you do not want to exceed 30. So while we're taxiing, what we can do, let's bring back the speed a little bit more. You go to the flight control stage. And let's first look out the window again. Make sure we're not crashing into anything. These airplanes do come at a price, you know. Okay, so we can check here in the lower ECAM. Full left, neutral, full right, neutral, rudder left. Let's use this immediately actually. Rudder right also seems to be working. We go full up, neutral. And what's happening here? Are we not allowed? Uh-oh. Have to stop. And full forward, neutral. So let's have a look. What is this? For now I think I'm just going to carry on. Probably totally illegal. But all of a sudden the yellow line seems to be gone. So I got a little bit of a fright there, and there's the dashed line too, so. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Everybody assume crash positions. And the fire truck, good timing. Try and stay below 30 knots while taxiing. The shadow is really cool. Big sharp shadow of the aircraft. Looks like there's an aircraft taking off. So how does this work? Looks like we have to go to the right here. Let's just do that. And there's the beginning of runway 27. That looks like a landing aircraft, maybe performing a go around. Oh, maybe that's what we saw for the other planes as well. We're going a little fast. So have a look outside view for a second. So I have a few things to attend to later on, so maybe that's one of the reasons I'm hurrying a little bit. Parking brake is set. We're right there, runway 27 right. So in real life obviously you would get clearance for the takeoff. But now we're all alone, so we're going to have to clear ourselves for the takeoff. What I will do in preparation is we turn on max speed brake for the takeoff. And the nose wheel lights and landing lights, they go on. We let the crew know that we are ready for takeoff. Cabin crew, please prepare for takeoff. And what was it? So let's test the takeoff configuration. Appears to be normal. I'm going to turn off the packs for the takeoff. Pack number 1 and number 2. And let's release the parking brake and get ourselves lined up on the runway 27 right at London Heathrow. It's a beautiful evening. 27 right. The aircraft does tend to oversteer sometimes. That might be me. So let's not waste too much runway. Engine to idle. Quick check, so we did the takeoff configuration. We're going to 6,000 feet. The flaps are at 2 position and the ground spoilers are armed. The packs have been turned off. Let's also turn on the strobe lights. And yeah, I guess that should be it. So the V1 speed was 152, 152, 153, or the V speeds I should say. We will rotate at 152. So let's stick with this view for a second. Well, that was a very short second. So we go to flex takeoff. And then let's get this thing rolling. Forward stick pressure is applied a little bit. then you release around 80 to 100 knots. Keep the aircraft on the central line. 120. 140. V1, rotate. Rotate to about 17 degrees. Keep the nose coming up. That might be the crosswind that we're feeling there. So around 17 degrees. So we got a positive rate of climb. Gear up, please. Thank you very much. The thrust lever now needs to be put in the climb position. Turn on the autopilot. AP1. AP1 is now on. And we will also turn on the packs now. Pack number 1 and pack number 2. Nozzle steering lights and the takeoff lights can be turned off as well. Flaps to 1. Let's have a look, maybe we can, yeah, I think we can retract the flaps now. Okay, so we're up and away. And let's see, yeah, so we need to be, can we see what the constraint was again? So I believe we need to be at 6,000 for a bit. Let's quickly check the chart. So all the way to GOGSI, 6,000 feet, and from there I believe we can then will be set free. That's pretty cool. We're holding steady, 6,000 feet now. GOGSI is about 13 nautical miles. QNH. We can set the QNH now to the standard QNH, and again we do this on both sides. So maybe now is a nice time to check inside the cabin and look out the window. London, everybody, from 6,000 feet. check on the flight deck now. So we're around GOGSI now, so let's put in flight level 370. Oh, is this how you do it? Is it really climbing now? Or is it climbing to 6,000 probably? Okay. Okay, so we put in 370. Still don't understand how to actually engage the vertical navigation. This is definitely doing something. I mean, you know, to get us up there, but, you know. So, basically the next event, if you will, is going to be around 10,000 feet, and we will release the passengers, if you will. Let's turn on some lights here on the flight deck. So here we are, climbing away from the United Kingdom for a nice and warm place called Lisbon in Portugal. So 9,500. So reaching 6,000 feet now. Passing 10,000 feet. Turn off the landing lights. APU can go off as well. Seatbelt signs can go off. Bags are on. The flaps are all retracted. The ground spoilers are disarmed. Gear is up. We have standard QNH. We have 370 set. And what's the aircraft actually doing? It's still on thrust climb, which it will stay. It is climbing to the set altitude of 370, and it's following lateral navigation. So that's it. So what I will do for now, I have to do some things around the house. So I'll be stepping away. I'll be checking in every now and then. all she needs to be when she's coming over to be with me. Even when we sleep, dancing in my dreams. All the feelings that I keep. Okay, so we're back. At a little errand to run, if you will. So we're still on our way to Lisbon from London Heathrow in the United Kingdom. We're on our way to Lisbon in Portugal. We have the beautiful view there of the setting sun out of our right hand side of the aircraft. And let's have a look inside the flight deck for now. It's a beautiful sky. Look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. Totally loving this. Let's look outside. Here we have the Air Portugal A320 from the Fenix development team. Oh, looks like we got the full moon right there. That is really pretty cool. That's a pretty view, man. Alright, let's have a look inside here. Let me get these wheels back under control. Alright. So what we're looking at. We're cruising, flight level 370. We got the 0.766 Mach. So actually there's a little more speed that we could put in if we want to. So let's see if we can push it to 0.81. And we just might arrive ever so slightly earlier than scheduled. And you know, on the other hand, we had like a 27-minute delay. And can we see the end of our flight plan? No, not yet. So let's have a look at the progress page. So we get some idea of where we're going. So our destination is LPPT. We put it right here. So it says it's about 455 nautical miles to go. So little speed, probably a little extra speed probably is not going to hurt us. It looks like we're having a slight headwind, giggity. So let's see. There, let's go for 0.81 Mach. And you can see right here that it's going to be a slight challenge, but it looks like we'll manage. So if you want to eat something, or you want to play cards while you're flying, or maybe, you know, just want to well, this looks like a smiley. Okay, that's funny. Okay, let's get rid of this thing, because we do not really use it. We could have a look at what our arrival is going to be. So we do not need this chart anymore, so we can remove them from here. Let me just go back. And let's have a look at the charts here for the arrival. And I believe the arrival was the XAMAX 6 Bravo. Let's see if we can find the XAMAX 6 Bravo. There you go. So let's put a star there. And while we're at it, let us also take the approach chart and leave the, let's see, what was our assigned runway 21. So we got cleared for 20, but then here in the MCDO we could only choose 21, not 20. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to do category 2-3 ILS runway 20, so put a start into that one as well. You go to start and let's have a look at the XAMAX arrival procedure. So from XAMAX, or rather at XAMAX, we should be below flight level 250. So we could maybe start by working out when to start our descent to flight level 250. And after that we follow the XAMAX 6 Bravo to the Fatima VOR right there. And from there 209 degree outbound radial, which the Airbus will fly, the autopilot will actually fly by itself. I'll just follow all the way to Upcat, where we should be above 4,000 feet, above 7,000. Okay, so these are constraints, and here we should be below flight level 250. So we might also fly lower if you want to. So that's one thing to know. So if we check the XAMAX, how far away we are from the XAMAX waypoint, basically we'll do the same as we did with the LPPT, but we just now enter XAMAX. And we clickety-click right there. So that's a 349 nautical miles, so there's still quite a ways to go. The alignment. And so at 370 for 250, was it 250 or 240? 250. So it's 120,000 feet. So times 3 is 36, so around 37 nautical miles. We should start our descent for flight level 250. And we're at 344, so that's quite a ways to go. So as I said, I've been away from the flight deck for a little while. I've been chilling with the passengers in the back, having a little bit of wine. Smoking was allowed on the flight as well. Hey, you can click this chair. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Can we click it further? Sort of. Oh. No. Oh, come back. What else can we do with this sucker? And surely you got to be able to sit on this thing. No? Okay, oh, no, go back. Alright. Oh, that happened. And, Michael Jackson is flying with us today. He left us a little souvenir. Oh my god, I haven't seen this, man. Okay, let's crash. I knew you could sit inside the cabin, but I never actually knew that you could physically translate there in this fashion. Okay, so tell me, who recognizes this behavior? Oh man, that's really cool. You know, you poke your head here at the window, try to look down, try to look up. Basically any glimpse, you know. For some people like us, probably the aircraft should be completely made out of glass, and you can just, you know, see everything all the time. Every now and then, in the top of the screen, you might see actually the bar for the overlay accelerate, because apparently I need to open sometimes the Fly Live Studio overlay for it in order for it to update itself. It's a little bit lame, but it's better than nothing. But this is a pretty view, man. So now on the other side, you think we get to see the sun? That would be cool, because it looks like they're on opposite sides of each other. And the sun looks like it has really set now. Okay. I'm totally loving this way too much. I just want to go and touch everything. Let's not open the door. some reason it is against airline policy. Never really understood why. I mean, you know, a bit of fresh air never hurt anybody. Can we go to the bathroom? I don't think we can. Well, good day everybody. Welcome aboard flight step 812 from London Heathrow to Lisbon in Portugal. We're cruising at a flight level of 370 feet, I think. I do not know for sure because I actually am supposed to be sitting on the flight deck operating the aircraft for you and monitoring that everything's going as it should. Can you open these overhead compartments? No? I did see that you can turn off the light for the cabin, which is actually really cool on a night flight, because then you can actually really see well outside of the window. You do not have to look at the window with all the light around it and the light reflecting off of it. You can actually be in a completely dark, like there's just some little night lights, that's all. So let's translate back to the flight deck now. And close the door. So I wonder if we lock the door to the flight deck, then I would assume we will not be able to open it. That's lame. Okay, but maybe because we can open it from the inside, but you cannot open it from the outside. Sure, alright, I'll take it. Okay, so let's jump back into our seats. There's the sunset to the right of us. So speed's going well, we're not overspeeding, we're still looking at some headwinds there. This looks to be the top of descent for us. That would actually make sense. And let's also have a look at the final approach chart. So runway 21 is at 205 degrees, okay. Initial approach fix, Aruda. And the glide slope starts at 4,000 feet. And what is the transition altitude? Airport elevation 355, runway itself 347. Transition altitude 4,000 feet, which is precisely actually the start of the glide slope. Okay. We could have a look at the weather from the EFB as well. Just click on the Fenix symbol. And we look at arrival. It is now retrieving the data. So 240 at 9 knots, 24 degrees. That's pretty nice. QNH 1013. Alright. So have a little look at our fuel reserves. Fuel, so we're at 5210 kilograms, which is pretty good. The no smoking sign is still on. And that moon there is totally rocking, man. Yeah, so let's have a little more live music. World Deal by your personal funky steam pilot, Arkady Gidzenko. So how far you think we are now from our destination? We left the progress screen at about 344 nautical miles, so it's, what is it, 290, well, 263, oh, that's pretty nice, so it's definitely getting there. It's going to be a night landing in Portugal, so we will unfortunately not be seeing the beautiful landscape. We do, however, have the company of the moon with us tonight. It looks like it's full moon. Let's see, can we play around with some of the lights? I believe. Isn't this like a reading light or something? Maybe let's turn off the dome lights here. Oh, the thing is completely invisible. Where was it? We'll screw ourselves right. Oh. No, just randomly pressing buttons. That's not gonna be good for everyone. For no one. Oh, let's have the lights a little dim, so at least we see something. Let's have a look here. I disabled the tooltip, so it will not tell me what it is. So hopefully we do not crash our aircraft with this. So maybe for now what we could do is we got about 200 nautical miles to go before we start our descent. So what we can do is we go to the performance page and we enter the and we go to the approach page, and then we will enter the information we just saw. So we got QNH, I believe it was 1018, but let's confirm. This may change by the time we 1013. This will change by the time that we arrive, obviously. So 1013, and the temperature was 24. It's really nice this time of night. And the wind was 240 at 9 knots. Oh, look, it actually, this might have taken the data from somewhere else. 240 9 knots. I'll show you later what I'm talking about. So when you go to the init page, there you can load up the wind. So maybe by the time this was loaded up, you think we could do an update, perhaps? Wind request? Descent wind. Oh, that's pretty cool. Not really sure what uplink insert. I'll just press it. Now we return to the approach page, 2409 knots, so at least let's stay there. And then the transition flight level is flight level 04, and from there on we will switch to 1013 right here, which will be then the local QNH. It's now sitting on standard because we're above, well, above 10,000 feet, or yeah, because we're in cruise. Is there anything else that we can put in? We got the barrow on the radio, so let's have a look at that. We turn to the charts again, and the final approach chart, and there it will say, I believe, let's see, category 3 Bravo ILS or category 3 Alpha. Decision height would be 50 feet. If you do a category 2 landing, you have a radio altitude of 100 feet and decision altitude of 447. I'm not really sure actually what this aircraft is capable of. I think it's category 3. might not be needing this at all. I'm going to guesstimate that we use decision height of 50. Just going to enter it here in the barrel. So this, for now, this will do. Once we get closer to the actual final approach, we will have to re-enter this, recheck the data, and see if we can, if we need to amend this data here. So apologies. But yeah, so far this is really an awesome aircraft. It is not the same as the fly-by-wire A321X. It is obviously very similar, but because they are both Airbus 320. This type, I believe, is slightly older than the A321X. I believe that's the Neo engine, and I always forget which engines this sucker has. See what else is there. Yeah, I believe the weather radar is in-op. I mean, you can turn it on and everything, but and obviously there's actually no precipitation. What's it called? No rain. So we're still good to go. Another really cool feature in terms of difference, if you will, with the fly-by-wire A321X and the Fenix A320 that we're flying now, is that these two MCDU units, they actually operate separately, which is really awesome. So the pilot monitoring can actually just, have his own screen up here too, which is really nice, which is how it is in real life, obviously. So that's a really nice feature that they have it in. So what are we? XAMAX. Let's go to the progress page and see how far we are from XAMAX. It's 210 nautical miles. So in about 80 nautical miles or so, roughly estimated. Yeah, we can start our descent. We could maybe have a look at the some of the systems. Let's zoom in a little more here. The engines. There's not a lot that I can tell you. There's a lot of channels on YouTube with real Airbus pilots. One is an all-time hero of mine, 320 Scene pilot, obviously. This guy is getting a really huge following, so just shout out to him, man. This guy is really totally awesome. He's a gentleman and he's smart and he knows how to, he has good didactic skills actually. I believe he's a real-life pilot and instructor or something. Cause, he tends to stay, quite private, which makes sense. So let's just not dive too deep into that. Nobody knows, then this is right, obviously. But this guy can tell you a lot. So if you check his channel, if you want to know more, man, the bleed page. There was something with the hydraulics. You have the three systems. You have the green, blue, and the yellow system, and I believe the yellow is a backup. I think this might connect when you engage the power transfer unit. I think this then connects to the yellow system or something, and then you have your backup. I'd be curious to know if this aircraft has a let's actually, whoops. I'm actually curious to know if this aircraft has a ram air turbine. I thought it did, and also would like to know. Looks like the manual gear extension does not work. Oh, it might. Let's not press it. because this is like a gravity gear extension. So I believe when you press this, it will just drop the gear down right under you. So let's not press this. But this could work in a situation, for instance, where you have an engine failure or two engine failures, so full engine failures basically. And well, let's just say you cannot, either you have no time or you cannot restart the APU. Then the aircraft is only working from that point on, would only be powered by the two backup batteries. And these are, you know, just to keep the aircraft from dying, you know, but that's about it. But not to keep the passengers from dying. So that would mean that you can then not lower your landing gear. You can physically put it down, but the landing gear will not extend. And therefore there is a gravity backup system in place, gravity gear extension, and you pull and you turn, and then the landing gear just plops out, and it's just hanging there, locked. And I also believe you cannot retract it anymore. Then it should actually be retracted by ground crew after you did such a thing. But maybe I'm wrong and I remember the things wrong. So you know, what do I know? You just heard me play guitar, so probably know a little more about that then. But there are some other cool features, like the oxygen mask, so you can check the oxygen pressure. There's a little test button that you can press, and then you see the white cross, and you can actually also hear there is oxygen coming out of there. That's always cool. So they do not allow us to go through the garbage. This aircraft also has some cool sunscreens, which obviously at this time of night will be of zero use to us, but they are right here. And you can actually put them well, basically wherever you want, sort of. Let's update the overlay. Look, there you go. All of a sudden you will see the line in the front go to the right. Although I'm not really sure if it's doing this in the on the stream as well. It looks like it did. Alright, okay, cool. So we are now 167 nautical miles. So we've done most of the checks, preparations for now. I had another brainwave, but I forget. I remember now. I wanted to look at where we are, and I think we just maybe use the Navigraph charts plugin, if you want to call it that. We'll probably have to click on flights and new flights and from SimBrief, and that will import it. So here you have us in the world, and let's put on the world map. So looks like we're really getting close now. That's good news. Uh-oh. I hope... Uh-oh. I believe Yep. That is such a shame. Looks like the simulator just crashed. Oh, that is such a shame, man. Welcome to the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is what can happen, and this is what does happen. The stream actually is still live, but the program is not. So that's it for today. I have a guest musician here, and he will sing a new song for you. That's how I know her. That's all she needs to be when she's coming over to be free with me. Free, that's how I know her. Free, that's all we need to be when she's coming over to be free with me. Even when she sleeps, even in her dreams, all the flowers that she gives, when my phone just gently beats, and I know it's for me. Be like the softest weather, be we could forever be in the sun together to be free with me. That's how I know her. Be, that's all she needs to be when she's coming over to be free with me. Even when we sleep, dancing in my dreams, all the feelings that I keep, when my phone just gently beats, I know it beats for me. Everybody have a big round of applause for my friend singing here. Or actually maybe he's just whistling now. Alright, so that's it everybody, that concludes the stream. I'm really sorry about the Microsoft Flight Simulator crashing on us. It is very Microsoft Flight Simulator to do that, so that's what we paid for, you know. What is it, $80 or something? There's no other game out there that does this so much as Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's insane. But what can I say? First world problems. There's countries where there's stupid wars going on, you know. So, you know, it is obviously all relative. Anyway, everybody, stay positive, stay loving, and all that miserable crap. Thank you for checking. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave poetry, whatever you want. Just keep it cool. Thank you very much for checking. I'm your personal funky sim pilot. Hope to see you sometime soon. My name is Arkady Gidzenko.